the camera, should we start with some introductions?
Okay.
Please, you guys start.
Okay, so my name is Daria.
I'm Catherine.
And I'm Mariana.
I'm Hassan.
Carlos.
Okay, perfect. Well, okay, starting now, the negotiation. Well, first of all, we want to thank SolarTech for the partnership we built over the years. Well, as you may agree, our collaboration has not only been commercially successful, but also a genuine contribution to advancing clean, sustainable energy across Europe, and that is something that we deeply value. And well, we couldn't start this meeting off without expressing how much we value our partnership over the years. And well, we're looking forward to our meeting today. And just to start off, Mariana is gonna show you an agenda that we came up just to keep our discussion focused, balanced, and productive. You can look at it. If you want to make any modifications or something, we're happy to consider them.
Okay.
Once we agree on an agenda, maybe we can proceed, but we'd like to know if those points look good to you.
I think group introduction makes sense, and then within needs and constraints, we'll be discussing primarily like your needs as well as really just talking about the price though, right?
The price would probably be more in the proposals section. Needs and constraints, we were thinking a little bit more of what your company values heading into this year, what our company values, a little bit more top line.
Okay.
And then we can get into the numbers.
That clarifies. Are you good?
It works for me. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, guys, now that we've agreed on the agenda, we just have two questions for you guys before starting. Well, as you know, we have a long history working together. What does SolarTech value the most in our relationship?
I think for us, stability is key. We've explored other alternatives, and switching would not be optimal. And so working with a company like yourselves that has this reputation, I think it's helped us quite a bit. That's the top. And if I could throw the question back at you guys.
Yeah. Actually, we also really value stability. I think that in this past year, a lot has happened in the world, and we're all kind of in the same boat of moving a lot of different pieces around in our company. So we value loyalty. That's a really big company value we have. We really value this partnership. So stability, I would say, is one of our key components. Like I think.
And we want to further solidify our long-term relationship for sure. That's on the top of our priority list.
And now following up with that question, we're just wondering what would make you as a company confident in continuing our partnership with Voltage in the long term?
I think for us, and Carlos, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for us the stability aspect of this all, it seems we're very aligned, and so that is a non sequitur for us. We're very happy there. The price, I think, we understand there has been some supply chain issues, and there will be some justifiable price increases, but we want to mitigate that to somewhere that we can all mutually agree on.
Yeah, absolutely.
That absolutely sounds very reasonable to us, and our concerns are aligned for sure. And we appreciate you taking the time to reflect on the value of our relationship. Now that we've had that conversation, we'd like to transition into understanding further SolarTech's needs. And my colleagues and I have a few questions. If it's okay with you, we'd like to start
Yeah,
asking
please.
them.
Let's do it.
So I guess our main question would be, how critical is maintaining a compliant, proven supplier for SunVault 3.0, which is the big launch that we're very excited for you guys.
The world's talking about it. Thank you. Yeah. For us, it is important, and we've noticed our team has looked at other options, like I mentioned. There are better alternative options, but we'd like to keep with one supplier who can promise us, and we believe based on your profile that you guys have the supply to promise us product 4 years out. And so that's something that's very important to us, but we do think there are some opportunity costs to explore with other people.
Other people, what makes those other people more attractive? I'm curious to see what...
European presence, I think, because we're based in Europe, we want to have some space there. Carlos, do you have anything to add on that?
No, I agree. I think our presence in Europe is important to us.
That sounds very reasonable, and I just wanted to mention that since we're based in South Korea, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for expansion.
Sure.
And like in the past, we've demonstrated how we have reached those European, I guess, clientele through you. And I guess something that we wanted to discuss later on was how us being in South Korea is actually a power move, because it can further increase that outreach into a global outreach, which is something that we wanted to discuss with you further.
Yes.
But I guess I have another question, because you do have a launch coming soon. How sensitive is your product launch timeline and to a pricing delay, for example?
Well, I think the 15-week delay is just too much for us, probably.
15
Can you elaborate on
So we have opportunities,
that?
and to switch suppliers, there will be some delay associated with this.
Okay,
And I believe with you guys, you can promise us the parts within 2 weeks.
yeah,
I believe that's the number we're looking at.
yeah.
And a delay further than that is okay. However, we're trying to keep this under 2 months, so 8 weeks for us. We've looked at other suppliers and are in conversations with them actively.
Okay. So ideally, I guess I'm trying to understand your timeline a bit further. Would you mind rephrasing what you just said to further understand?
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, like I mentioned, there's delays with every supplier. You guys have offered us 2 weeks to get us to production. As we look for other suppliers, our target is 8 weeks. To answer your question about what is an acceptable delay. Does that
okay.
track?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So ideally, what would be your preferred date if we reached an agreement?
But tomorrow. But
Okay.
but 2 weeks is okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
And that leads to my next question.
Sure.
So, what budget constraints do you guys have?
So we're pricing it per battery, right? I think we've kind of distilled all our metrics into that unit price. And so with that, as far as I understand, we're paying $420 per unit right now.
Yes.
And we're looking at a justifiable price increase. All suppliers have this. But we'd like to kind of start the price range based on our metric that we've looked at here on our models. For this to make any sense to us, we're looking at about $465 for a battery.
Got you. And is that what the other suppliers that you're looking for are
Yeah.
proposing?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for letting
Thank
us
you.
know that that price and all that. Is there anything else that would make
I think,
yeah,
if
go
I
ahead.
can jump in.
Yes, absolutely.
So I know you mentioned that stability is important to you. I know that with this new launch, is there something specific you want to focus on? Like, are you targeting innovation? Are you targeting, what specific values do you look for in this new launch?
This is very much Carlos' department.
I'd say price is the most important and kind of the biggest thing we're looking at.
Totally. Sorry, just to clarify, I mean to your customers. Like, what is the main theme of this year's launch that you really want your product to promote?
We want to make sure that our investors are confident in us, that we can maintain a strong supply chain. Like if we have to switch competitors, that could switch companies, that could introduce some delays, and this would cause our investors to lose
Got it.
confidence.
Okay.
But I do agree with like innovation. I think we explore different chemistries as well.
Yeah.
Because it is trendy, we want to kind of corner that market, especially in the European space.
Yeah.
Innovation is a nice concept for us, and we do believe all our options right now cover that for our benefit.
Awesome. Okay. Well, just to respond to your initial offer, we want to be transparent with you and let you know that our numbers were quite a bit away from that, but we want to respect our relationship. To be fully honest, when we did our research, our costs have increased so much, and we're looking like $550 per unit was something that came back from our reports. But because we value the relationship, because we've had such a long-term relationship with you guys, we don't feel comfortable charging you that much because it's a big price jump from last year. So we landed ultimately at $520, and we want to talk a little bit about what comes into this price. So for Voltage, we are very proud of our sustainability efforts. We are ranked close to number one for our sustainable initiatives, and I think that's pretty important within the battery industry. We also have really great recycling efforts. We can also have great insurance coverage, but some reasoning behind the price increase. If I'm not sure if you guys know, but lithium costs really increased this year by 18%, so that's really influenced our price, our production costs, and then a bunch of other price increases as well. But I just wanted to say that first. Let me know if you guys.
If I could ask some questions just regarding the use of
Absolutely.
insurance before jumping into that. I do understand kind of, first of all, beyond price, what matters to Vault Edge right now.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, based on the relationship that we've built, we've also valued sustainability, we value reliability. Accuracy is very important for us. We really are invested in our batteries, and we're working every single day to make them even better for the market that we're interested in working with. So I think that quality, good relationship, having our clients happy, having them come back, those are things that we truly value, especially having, like we've mentioned from the beginning, a good relationship with you.
Yeah. Also, because our company is based in South Korea, we've actually gotten really strong partnerships within the Asian presence of this industry, but we have a strong European partnership through SolarTech, and we really want to continue that presence in the European market. That's really important to us. So outside of cost, we're really looking to really begin to foster roots in the European market and really develop those relationships.
Yeah, guys, just to end on that, we believe that this price is a fair reflection of the current market realities, right? And we want to make sure that we preserve this trust and consistency that have defined our relationship as companies for the past couple of years that we've been working together.
Great. Let me process that for a second, because I do have one more question, a bit more about the needs as well. And I think I'm very curious. It sounds like the European certification and market is interesting to you guys. It's attractive to you guys. I'm generally curious. How dependent are you on expanding into Europe, if at all? I know you're doing very well in the Asians. So, what are you thinking?
I think expansion has always been a goal of us. We want to help as much people as we can, and that is our main interest, helping as much people as we can. And we know that in Europe we can achieve that, and we want to achieve it with the best people that there are, which is you guys. So providing a good, reliable, accurate service, or high quality service I should say, is our priority. And because you guys have proven that we can deliver together that service, we want to collaborate with you.
Okay.
So I hope that answers your
question.
That does. Okay.
Before I get into diagnosing cost structure, which I think is probably the best place to start diving into the proposal, I do want to talk about timing and flexibility.
Absolutely.
So if things were to change, the market, I understand, is volatile on your end as well as ours. If we needed a change of production, how quickly can you guys offer us something like that?
So I can answer this one. So the number that we discussed, which is 520, includes that consideration and that timeline flexibility. So that's why that also justifies our price, because we did take into account this is a huge launch. They are gonna want to do everything as fast as possible while also delivering high quality service. So that's another reason why that number was discussed and is being offered to you right now.
I think to make it clear, we have a lot of partnerships heading into 2026, heading into the next year, but we really value this relationship and we pushed SolarTech to the priority of our list, and that's why it comes with that premium price of 520. You guys will get the quickest response times from our engineers. We have you as the priority case for our year heading in.
We want to thank you for taking us into consideration so much and giving us sort of this preferential treatment. But I think 520 is still just above what makes sense for us.
Totally.
It would be hard.
Do you think now would be an opportune time to go into cost structure?
We can, yeah. Do you guys feel comfortable with that?
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, I'll start, but, so, you mentioned lithium went up 18%,
Mhm.
and 520, I think, is about a 25% increase from the current price of 420, give or take. I understand there's a premium, you know, there's definitely multiples on material costs as well for your business. I'm curious what other inputs have driven up the cost.
Yeah, so there's been a recycling compliance that's been increased as well. So that's just how we environmentally, sustainably get rid of our batteries. The industry taxes has also raised from 4% to 6%. And we have invested in more sustainability certifications for our employees. So they have gotten more certifications across the board. This has been represented by a few companies, such as the ESG sustainability certification. And then lastly, a lot of the premium price is also just to protect our employees, because we really value our employees. Like we said earlier, loyalty is really important to us, and that applies to the partners that we have, but also the employees that we have. And it's been a tough economic climate in the past year, so we really want to make sure our employees are having enough money and their wages are protected. Also, lastly, there's been an increase in tariffs as well.
And if I can just add to that, there has been unfortunately an increase in natural disasters, which means that we have to invest in better technology for our batteries. So there's been an increase in that, and we don't want for customers to feel like their batteries are not resistant towards that sort of increasing climate. So it takes into consideration that as well, and we're happy to discuss this further. But yeah, do you have any questions for us in terms of what we just discussed? Or how does that sound like?
I'm processing, so it seems like
Yeah.
it's a kind of it's not really operationally based, so much aside from the labor cost, and but it's very much the tailwinds changed, and the tailwinds have changed, and now it seems like your business is kind of adjusting to this new macro environment. If things were to change, I'm curious for my own benefit. If tariffs were to drop, and the regulation was to ease up, would there be a reflection in our price down the road? Would we be able to renegotiate?
We can absolutely consider that. I think because we value this relationship, we don't want to reach a deal that wouldn't work for you financially either. So, you know, if we require more money up front to create the batteries, and later on if the economy is generous to us and we're able to make great profit, then we can discuss a price plan for that.
I'm hearing that price is a concern for you. What would make our offer more attractive? We've discussed a couple of factors that could play a role here, but before we present them, we want to understand what would make our offer more attractive so that we can find a common ground and satisfy each other's needs. So how would that look like for you?
I think, so we understand, you know, the price increase makes sense. I'm not questioning your numbers. For us, the margins are starting not to make sense. And it's really that. And I think maybe there's some financial engineering we could do here to reach maybe a more favorable price for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm curious about perhaps like a staggered paying schedule, or maybe upfront giving more, just to reach us to a slightly lower price, closer towards our number of 465.
Well, I think we're willing to lower, we can be flexible on the 520. I think we can reach you closer, maybe split the difference closer to 500. And with that, we think that to make the difference from 520 to 500, it would be amazing if you could put us in connection with a few other European companies in your network. That's something that would greatly benefit our company.
And like I mentioned earlier, there's a couple of factors that we'd like to discuss, because this is a package, and this package includes a couple of things that we call sweeteners. And we'd like to, if you guys agree, we can start discussing them now.
Well, what do you guys think about the 500?
I like it. I also was aligned on your thinking there of, you know, we're European. You guys are gearing towards the sustainability angle. You know, Europe's a hot spot for that. So
right.
we'd love to welcome you in.
Awesome. We feel welcomed already.
Good. Okay. I think we'll find something with the price. But let's hear the sweetness.
Awesome. Okay, so we mentioned one of them earlier, which we have a ton of connections in the South Korean market, and in the greater Asian market as well, if you guys are interested in expanding your footprint, in that country. And then we can also, as an option, upgrade your package to the premium insurance package. So that's essentially if there are any faulty batteries, or if you have any battery issues within any of your properties, our engineers will take responsibility of that and make sure it's taken care of, and we will eat that cost. So that can, kind of help you in potential liability in the future.
And I'd also like to discuss, because you're launching a new product, right? So there's a lot of marketing involved. And we're from South Korea, and we can tailor your marketing to our South Korean audiences as well. So not only are we talking about insurance, but we're also talking about outreach, and we want to be a part of that. So this package would include our team working on tailoring your promotion to our South Korean audience. That includes taking into account culture, language. You wouldn't have to worry about that. We would be taking care of that. And that's one next step to global outreach, which I think can benefit the both of us. So that's part of this package, and we think that it's very valuable for the both of us.
Yeah, and just in addition to that, we're in the process of developing a new app. So with that app, you can track like the energy. We are going to be offering like quarterly performance and everything, just so you can really follow our process and what we're doing, so you can trust us. And yeah, so we're willing to like give you guys like sustainability reports to support like audits and everything.
Yeah.
Similar to what Tesla's doing, for example.
Okay. Interesting. That would, okay.
So how does that look like to you?
Carlos loves apps, so.
If you guys need some time.
No.
We can also, we wanted to propose also, like at any point during this session, we can take a 5-minute break.
I do think that's a good idea. I was also thinking
Okay.
that. But
do you have a proposed time of when to do that?
I think if it's okay with you, maybe we'll find the right flow.
Okay.
And then take it there. But I did want to mention, because I hear what you guys are saying, and I really like this idea of, it's very interesting, you diversifying your business very much to give us this marketing angle. The South Korean expansion is attractive. It's not like paramount, nor is it the forefront even of our thinking. Let me hit you back with some of our sweeteners, and then let's go back to cost structure.
Absolutely.
So earlier payments is something we'd love to do. We've got reserves. That's something that we have. That makes a lot of sense for your team, I think, to take the money up front very quickly. And I think that might bring us to a more reasonable price for the two of us. And this is really us trying to work together to find that cohesion that makes sense, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, just like to talk about specifically that.
Yes.
Would you guys be interested in having like this early payment discount option? So let's say if you agree with our price, we can offer like a 1 to 2% credit for early payment that you were just mentioning right now.
I see. So it would not be baked into the price, but it would be something that we'd be able to get perhaps down the line.
You'd be getting back.
Yeah.
Okay. But the price we'd agree to, for example, be whatever you just said. Let's say 500, and then 2% below that. That's what you're. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll jot that down as we continue. But let me go into the next thing.
It's a generous offer.
That works.
The other thing that we were kind of like just in our heads thinking about, and please tell me if it's not a good idea. I'd love to hear your take, but currency hedging. And so we could denominate in EUR, so euros, give it to you in that format. That way you could probably you don't have to lose so much on the currency conversion. And I think that might cover the 1 to 2% you were mentioning.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think we can definitely consider that. So just for clarification, and maybe this is us going back to the cost structure, but how are you guys feeling about the 500? Because this sounds great to us. We're happy to have these sweeteners included in the package. We feel more comfortable coming down to 500 if this is included, but I wanted to check in.
I think it's a tad bit too high, to be transparent with you.
Understood.
I'm trying to add these sweeteners so I can kind of parlay into the next point of
Totally.
a lower price.
Okay.
And I think there's definitely some synergy here. I think, you know, in the future, if we ever consider the South Korean expansion, you guys have made it really attractive. And for your current day, your present day, the European market can be achieved partially through us. I think we might be one of the larger contracts in the European market, and we'd love to help you guys expand further in there.
Perfect.
And so you can see how there is that
Yeah.
immediate synergy for your team.
Just to talk a little bit more about the European market, we also create batteries for electric vehicles and industrial appliances, so like industrial kitchens. Do you guys have any company connections within those industries, or would you be able to offer network in real estate that we can connect for electric vehicle charging, or you know, within the restaurant industry? Are those connections that are available to us?
So thankfully, the European battery market is relatively small, and we are thought leaders in the space. So in the development side of things for commercial and residential buildings, we do have like a large network there.
Okay.
And in the electric vehicle space, we have very good partners, just given the nature of our business.
Okay.
And we'd love to connect you guys.
Awesome. That would be great.
So back to the price, I do think we can also incorporate on our side a volume-based bonus. So if we exceed the 15,000 units that we've agreed to, we can offer a premium to your team for every unit we purchase over that.
I like that idea. I think that's also something we were considering, because we know that it's a steep price increase from last year. We were considering if you guys perhaps produce 17,000 units, then we can drop the 500 per unit down lower, because ultimately we're looking at profit margins.
I see. So we're actually going the other way, and I understand it might be
Okay.
because in our mind, we thought the scale of cost would affect your team, and we wanted to offer a premium, maybe a 10% premium per battery over that 15,000. But I agree with you. We're currently forecasting 15,000. The number that we're discussing for the 15,000. Would this premium benefit your team in some way? So at the same time, you might be able to capture the unused capacity in your factory, as well as increase your margins with economies of scale, and then take our premium on top of that.
Yeah.
And that would kind of hedge us a bit as we find a lower price for us to stagnate at.
I think those premiums, along with the networking opportunities, along with all the other sweeteners you've mentioned, that's attractive to us, but I don't think we could lower the price that much. I would feel more comfortable maybe coming down to $490. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's our personal resistance point. That's what we were instructed to. We would love to, you know, ideally provide you your perfect scenario, but the same thing that, you know, we're trying to assess your needs. I know that that's
Right.
into your consideration as well. So the lowest that we can do, and we're not going lower than that, is 490, and that still includes everything that we put on the table.
The early credit. The
Everything,
payment
early credit, marketing collaboration, which
Premium
ultimately
insurance.
will be very beneficial economically wise. But yeah, we're not going lower than 490. But we hope that all the sweeteners that we're offering compensate
Yes.
for your concerns. How would you care to respond? How are you feeling?
We'll take a 5-minute break if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you guys for the break. I think when we took the break, we were discussing your most recent offer, 490. We had a second outside of chat. I think we're getting somewhere very good.
Okay.
And we want to just take a second to revisit what everybody's needs are, as well as what the quote-unquote sweeteners have been.
Absolutely.
Needs, I think, for us, stability, a great partner. We see that in your team. We also most certainly want an attractive price for our margins to make sense. For us, it's a unit economics game. That is the nature of the battery industry. For your team, we definitely want to give you guys, as manufacturers, the best possible standing point. So we want to give you that volume. We want to give you that order length. We want to give you guys that opportunity to expand now that you have a great factory built out. The European market is most likely your best market right now in terms of your sustainability angle, and we really believe that we can convert that for you. We're giving sweeteners in the sense of premiums. If we go over a volume order, we want to pay upfront and early. We want to hedge your currency to show our willingness to work with your team. With that, I think our time to respond is we want to come back to you guys with a price of $480.
Well, thank you for taking the time to discuss. I think that shows a lot of care and value in our conversation today, in our agreement today. We were discussing how going below 490 is not a reasonable agreement for us. I think that, and with all due respect, it doesn't value what we do. It doesn't value what our workers do for many hours in the day. I don't think it reflects that part, and we don't want to take it as disrespect, because we know that even you sitting here is a sign of respect. So we hope that that respect is also present when talking about numbers. I know my colleague Daria and we discussed that point specifically. Would you care to elaborate?
Yes, of course. So I'm pretty sure you guys are as concerned about your reputation as we are. Because I understand that you might not be that interested in like the market in like East Asia or Asia Pacific, whatever. But I do feel like what happens in this room right now is going to speak volumes when it comes outside, and that's going to say much about who we are as a company and about how you guys are as a company. And specifically in the European market, I think that that's something that we have to be careful of course, because like if you guys take into consideration, and I mean, of course you are already respecting our company, but like taking into consideration everything that Mariana just mentioned, I think that's going to be really important when it comes outside of this room. So whatever happens here,
Absolutely.
I think we have to be really careful and really important and really make sure to prioritize our reputations as a company.
And I have one last thing to add, just going back to the price of it all. You mentioned that premiums is a potential sweetener. It sounds like you guys would be able to have the capital to pay us up front. So we also want to consider, maybe we can do a payment plan. Like we can consider 490 as the beginning chunk of the year. And if sales are going well, if we're exceeding our anticipated sales, then we can discuss a lower price point for later on in the latter half of the year.
And I just wanted to add that we do, we're aiming for Europe because we've been studying Europe. We know how it works. Obviously, you have a better insight, right? And that's why we chose the best ones in the business. That's why we're sitting here with you. And we also know how Europe values its employees, And I hope that you value our employees as well when we're talking about numbers. So
Absolutely. No, I appreciate you guys, first of all, standing up for your company, and Catherine for offering that solution. There is a financial burden on both sides, right? There is, in my mind, in our minds, justifiable cost increases. We agree that respect and our partnership is important, it's paramount. If there's a one-sided financial burden, that jeopardizes this. And we don't want to do that. And I don't think your team wants to do that either. For us, we are playing a very thin margin game. And so I just want to outline that so you guys understand why we're pushing back on this price. It's not because we're trying to make the rich richer, but really protect our workers and mitigate this huge jump in price because of the materials and for your team to pay your labor better. With that, just so I can understand, we're sitting at 480 still, but I'm going to give Carlos a chance to speak. I just want to understand from your team briefly, this 490 is something you guys have reached with your senior board, I guess, and it's something that you're basing on the macro tailwinds as well as the increase in your supply chain, correct?
correct. That is the number that our team discussed, correct.
Okay. Carlos.
Yeah, I think 490 is very generous of you guys for considering us. But like Hassan said, it is just slightly above our target. Can we maybe meet at 485? Is this possible? It's splitting the difference between our max and your lowest. Can we do that?
I just was wondering, because we did offer a lot of sweeteners that I think, I know, compensate for that $5 difference that or that $10 difference that you're asking for. Can you explain once more?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll tell you our cost structure as well, in a sense here, and I'll pull up some actual numbers, so actual strategies to make sure I'm not saying anything too much here, but yes. So first of all, we're trying to offer some real stability in this market, right? And the way we're basing that is with these 50,000 units across this first year, but still with a 4-year commitment to your team. We want to pay upfront early. We do have this capital as buffer, and if our production goes up, we'd like to charge our customers more to pass on those earnings to your team. Our cost structure is very small. This 485 that we've come up with, this number, bakes in all of these understandings.
So you're suggesting increasing prices for the customers to pay for our...
To discuss the volume production
Yeah,
increase.
Okay.
so they could give us the offer those premiums. So.
But I do really enjoy your sweeteners, and Carlos and I had a second to chat about the South Korea expansion. If it's okay with you, I think, can you guys tell us one more time, very high level, very tactically, what this expansion might look like, and how far you're willing to take the support?
Well, we're living in the world of media now. Every single company has a communications team. Every single company is making reels, has their social media team, and we have that, and we've been having that, and it's successful. And what we're saying is that we can start in South Korea, and that in South Korea, which is a huge country in Asia, we can definitely reach a global outreach. So not only will you have the European market, but you will have the Asian markets as well.
And not to mention, aside from communications and social media, we also have legitimate partnerships with South Korean home energy storage companies like yourself, but in South Korea. So we can, essentially they're your competitors, but we can leverage those relationships. We have their networks, we have access to whoever they're working with in South Korea. So that could be an opportunity for you to enter.
It is just it's almost a little bit of tension between like us and them, I feel like. And with your support, I'm sure we can mitigate that. I do want to ask now, from our end, to introduce your team to electric vehicle makers in Europe, as well as commercial and residential developers. Would that be something that interests your team greatly?
Absolutely.
And with that knowledge, would that be enough to shift the unit economics here?
I was going to say, is there any way that we can keep it at 490 and have a guaranteed meeting of discussing the renewal of this contract?
When would you want to have this meeting?
When the years, like after the 12
So after
months.
12 months?
Having that as a guarantee. Like we would be putting all of our other, because companies have reached out to us. We're not going to lie, we want to be fully transparent to you.
I bet, yeah.
But we've completely ignored them to talk to you guys. So we're saying that we would put you on top of the list in a year, like we did this year without a guarantee, but we're just asking for it to be 490. So how do you guys feel about that?
I feel pretty good so far. How do you feel, Carlos?
I don't know if I have the authority to speak on this.
You don't have it, nobody does.
Yeah, I think we'll take the deal.
So 490?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, with the sweeteners, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course.
And,
That's what we've been
I want
talking
to write
about.
everything down because.
Oh, you want to notarize?
Yeah.
I would expect nonetheless. Of course.
Well, we want to make sure we're clear on the deal.
Of course. No, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I knew you guys were a real operation.
Awesome.
Thank you. Well, yes, please.
So we've agreed on
Like 489 was it?
490.
I think it was 498.
I think it was
Oh.
560.
Dude,
No.
this is how it starts.
490
per unit.
per
At 15,000 units.
That's right.
okay. And then our sweeteners include marketing, collab,
expansion into the South Korean market.
But when you say expansion, that was what
Wow.
sense?
No, access to South Korean network.
Okay, so like our South Korean partners. Where'd you get this paper?
I know. I have no idea. Probably Walgreens.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I have more if you guys want.
I'm
Like, I have so much.
I like
I don't know
So
what
you guys
I'd
want,
do
like-
with that one.
Each like a yellow and green.
As a memento of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is part of the sweeteners, guys.
Ooh. South
Okay.
Korean shit is nice. Thank you.
And then early payments, discount.
We agreed on 2%?
Yeah.
True. Look at you.
And then,
Will include our
priority
priority
delivery.
delivery.
Delivery. We also agreed on the 2-week thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks till yeah.
So like as soon as possible. Well, that's part of priority delivery.
And our guaranteed meeting.
Guaranteed meeting.
Yeah, multi-year pricing discussion for later.
Nice.
In a year.
Yeah.
Discuss contract.
Premium insurance.
Premium insurance.
I'll just check my notes here.
Insurance. App.
Access to our
The app was like integrated with the battery systems themselves,
Yeah.
correct? It's pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
Insurance. Do we? Oh, premium insurance.
Yeah, that's there.
But yeah, that's what I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
And it's other.
Sorry.
Pardon the French.
Don't worry. We'll edit that one out, right? But
Sensors.
just so I understand, I believe you guys covered this. I don't want to say it explicitly, but all these certifications, they're beyond the EU certification standards, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is the South Korean market more stringent than the EU market for certifications, or is it just different?
I think it was our company specifically. We had a real sustainability
Okay.
initiative this year. We really encouraged our employees to
I
get
just was generally curious how this thing was structured. Okay.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
I think that was it.
That was it.
And then from our end, I think we had some stuff we wanted to offer
Oh,
you
go
guys.
for it.
So we mentioned we'd be open to currency hedging,
Oh, yes.
if you guys are interested in that.
We are.
As well as earlier payments, just to create this like strong relationship.
Mhm.
Earlier payment
Oh,
and then premiums.
wait, what?
Earlier payment and premiums.
And yeah,
Volume based.
bonuses,
Yeah. Based on volume.
we'll sign any.
Like in this one? In this? Or
Just
should I make
give
another?
me
Based
something
on
to sign.
volume.
And then this.
Currency
Was I
hedging.
allowed to make that call?
Hedge.
Dude, you're the boss. I look up to you.
I thought you were my boss. Dude.
And
No,
then
Daria's our
access
boss.
to EU
Daria's the boss.
network connections.
She's the boss.
We're
Yeah.
all
Access
We
to-
got stringed along, man.
Yeah.
Access to EU
Network.
Yes.
network.
Exactly.
Does that cover it all?
I believe so. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
read it over just to make
For the
sure.
volume-based bonus, you put the
Mhm.
put the 15,000 above 50. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Above 15,000.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the only thing I think I have left.
Above what?
Above 15,000 units.
Yeah.
Oh.
Otherwise, that makes sense from my end.
Yeah.
Our end.
Okay, I'm gonna read it over. So we said, we agreed on 490 per unit, 15,000 units. Marketing collab, expansion in South Korean, in terms of partners, market outreach. Early payment discount, 2% credit. Priority delivery, guaranteed meeting in a year to discuss the contract. Premium insurance, app access, currency hedging, earlier payment and premiums based on volumes, bonus above 15,000 units, and access to the EU network.
What do I sign?
Well, let's sign here.
I'll sign anything.
Well, guys, thank you so much for this.
Thank
very
you so much.
constructive
Yeah.
discussion. I think it's very clear that we both value the strengths of this partnership.
I agree.
I'll sign on behalf of Solar Edge. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
What?
Do you wanna?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is for fun.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
I
go,
am.
go.
Look at that. This is the best. You guys really
What a signature.
Awesome.
Thank you. The V and the T.
Let's write on the whole. You wrote your company name on Solar Tech.
You know what? Put the whole thing out. 7 minutes.
Well,
Cut the tape.
that's
Cut the
the
tape.
collab. That's the collab.
It's
Solar
Solar
Edge.
Edge.
Yes,
That's
see,
part of
it's
the
Solar Edge.
Exactly, exactly.
It's a self-careening with us. Yes, beautiful.
Well, technically, this is invalid. No, I'm kidding.
Cut the tape and restart.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
kidding.
stop it.
That was awesome.
Am I good to stop
Good.
the?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Wait, Marty, show the. Wait, guys.
Show them. All right.
Perfect.